Bought my first house when I was, say, about 19 for $7 grand. I've been hustling, doing everything I can to stack my money, because I always kind of knew I was gonna end up working for myself. I ended up buying the second house for like about $5,000. It was a piece of crap. Put about $15,000 into it. I mean, my last. I made a bunch of mistakes on that property. I pushed forward. Finally, I got it completed. Ended up selling that house for $45,000. After realtor fees, closing costs, I ended up getting a check back for about $39,000. And with that $39,000 is when I really started investing in real estate, and that's where the snowball effect started. It's gonna start with one will turn into two, and then you have a guy like me, 15 years later, I am where I am now. You'll get a chance to really see an up-close and direct look into how an investor works, hands-on, and how we negotiate with the tenants, homeowners, and so forth. Well, this is interesting. We're about to pull up at one that was recently burned, one of my properties. Damn! Boy, this house is gone, man. Boy, this... It's gone. And look at this. I'm about to just knock this damn thing down and start all over from scratch.
That day was actually the most horrible day.
I mean, ain't no redoing this. The whole, I mean, when you look at the roof, everything, I mean, it's totally destroyed. It's just, this is a complete knockdown.
I'm literally about to start crying, and I start telling Charlene, where did we mess up? Let's go back to the beginning.
I sold this property, owner finance to a lady, and my office made a big boo-boo. I mean, a real big boo-boo.
At the time I was training, so we were training on insurances and evictions. And I was letting her know that anytime if she sees something like a pending date, as far as a closing date, you know, you can let me know, or you can ask me, you know, just say, hey, does this insurance need to be taken off?
They assume that the lady went and got her insurance.
This was an owner finance deal, and it was kind of, she was new to this business. But I had let her know that as soon as a property sells, you take off the insurance unless it's owner financed.
When she came in, she put $10,000 down, and they told her to go get her insurance.
So Michael calls me one day. He just tells me that a client's going to be coming by to purchase a property on Lowry. And I tell him, okay, well, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit inside because I don't know anything about the terms or anything. I don't know how much the sale price is. So he calls me back and lets me know about the terms. And I find out that it's from this deal or negotiation was made with my coworker. And I let him know. I was like, okay, so shouldn't he be here? Well, he can't make it. This deal or negotiation was made with my coworker. And I let him know. I was like, okay, so shouldn't he be here? Well, he can't make it. So I have to take over as far as the paperwork. I fill out the paperwork as much as I can. I send it off to him to get it approved. And he calls me back and lets me know it's okay. Go ahead and get everything signed, and they can, you know, start making the payments. About a month and a half passes by. We get a phone call, and the client's letting me know that the house burned down.
I know you see. Oh, hey, Carl. What's up? Man, just getting to this damn house, man. I don't even think there's no use in you looking at this.
So I'm freaking out because this insurance, I was thinking, I was like, does it have insurance?
I'm not worried because I know I have insurance. And they like, no, Michael, you don't have insurance. and neither does the buyer.
Can we claim anything? No, we can't, because as what she was trained on and what miscommunication there was, she took off the insurance for this property, so he wasn't able to claim anything.
And I'm like, what? How do I not have insurance? Well, she said, well, we put it in the sold folder, and Charlene didn't understand the difference between sold on the finance and sold, actually sold.
Well, Michael calls me.
Alejandra?
I'm gonna say, hold on. Okay.
Alejandra?
What?
Yeah, Alejandra?
He calls me back and asks me what the happened.
So she canceled your insurance, and then the buyer didn't even get insurance. When we talked, and she just came in here crying that she didn't have insurance and the house was burned.
As soon as he got back in town, like he was just, I mean, let's just say it was unpleasant.
So I'm like, man, let me hang up this call right now.
And he was flipping out. He was actually out, I believe he was at one of his son's games. And he was just so mad. I can tell he was holding it in.
Much you gonna be able to do for this one? I mean, I know we can perform some miracles, but I don't think this one has a chance, man.
I'm just going to have to knock this down right now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
You know, Mike called me and told me to go look at the property. He heard it had been burnt down, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Man, look at this, man. You can still smell the burn.
Yeah, it's just like the fire was just,
I've been looking at moving houses. So if I was to get this cleared all out and move a house here, I've been watching, seeing on where you can, buy these houses for, $5,000, $10,000 in government houses and just move them here.
it's possible. It's possible.
So yeah.
It's a nice lot.
Yeah, it's over an acre of land. I got some intel on a lot sold down the street here on the same street, a couple blocks down. 1 acre lot sold for like 70 grand. So I feel like I'm still sitting on value with the lot. When I bought this property, I saw the value in the land, not the house. So, beautiful piece of land here.
Value is there.
But I mean, the fact that I'm dealing with this bull is like, it's not, something I don't want to deal with. I was able to sell it for $100,000 on the finance, but if I could knock this down, put another house that's even better shape than this, then that means I could probably end up getting way more than even 100 grand what I originally sold it for. Now, I spent $30,000 on this property, but I knew this buyer's gonna walk. So, but she had given me $10,000 down, so I'm into it for now $20,000. But still, if I had insurance, I had this house insured for 100 grand. So had this house burned under my insurance, I would have got 100 grand in my pocket. And I missed her. So basically, I feel like I lost 100 grand.
I was in shock to hear that. I think Alejandra kind of dropped the ball on that situation, and she forgot to renew the insurance policy.
I always have to keep my own personal insurance on these properties because I never know what when we're on a financing a deal, I don't know what these new buyers are going to do. And I don't want their insurance to dictate my future.
Why didn't James let these clients know about the insurance? Like, why wasn't he here? He's the one that made the negotiation. Why isn't he here?
If I would have had insurance on this, they would have cashed me right out.
Yeah, you would have been in a good situation. I mean, on this one, yeah, you could move a property here, but you could just sell the lot as is and let somebody else deal with the headache and just put some, medium cash in your pocket, or you can sell it to me.
Okay.
You can sell it to me for 21.
Yeah.
Then you can recoup all your money, and I can build my dream house.
Okay. And it could have really been a pretty situation. So now the buyers is wanting me to let her out the debt. She's not worried about her money, of course. She's just ready to eat her $10,000 loss and just leave this whole thing on me. Thought maybe it might be salvageable, but ain't no use in, you even looking at this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that somebody from like the arson unit come by from the fire department.
I asked him, was he gonna press charges or did we need to call the police? And so, but I don't think we can prove anything.
I was out of town, and from what I hear, man, even if they come by without any fingerprints or anything, they say fires are one of the hardest things to try and figure out without any witnesses. And look how secluded. I didn't realize it was this secluded. So even on both sides and across the street. So ain't nobody can even. So it wouldn't even make no sense for me to put a house here because them idiots ain't gonna do nothing but try and even come tear it up, or burn it down. I'm standing to lose 20, which I feel like I can sell this lot for 20 and break even. It's one of those situations where you can turn lemons into lemonade, but it could have really became a real slushy lemonade had I had insurance. And I would have got my money, then I would have still ended up having a recourse with the buyer to see what she wanted to do.
Hopefully they're not still mad, and when somebody else come put a house here, they don't try to get back at them too.
Not one person to blame, but I really fought Alejandra on this, James.
And then I had also let Michael know, hey, you should have let James know, hey, did James talk to him about the insurance to these clients? Because that's not my responsibility.
I called Alejandra, I called Charlene, I called James. Hey, Alejandra said James was supposed to tell her to get insurance when the lady came into the office. I feel like James or Alejandra should have told her, more so James.
You asked for me to just make up the paperwork, get it authorized, and get it sold.
Somebody should have made sure this lady who bought this house knew that we were dealing with some idiots on this house. Who's to blame, whether it was Alejandra, whether it was Charlene, whether it was James. All I know, I was out of town in Vegas and get the call that my property had burned. They kept tearing up the house, driving up and down the street, yelling at my cleanup crew to leave and cussing at them. When James bought this one, he told me, informed me that he think we were gonna have some problems with this one because they was like, didn't want to talk. You just get a sense of, once you're in this business, you know who's gonna be hard to deal with and who ain't, and we knew they were gonna be hard to deal with. He ended up getting it evicted, and they fought that, they appealed that, and then we got him in the next level court, which is the next level Tarrant County Court, and we won the appeal and got him out of that, and even then they was cussing and fussing and saying they wasn't gonna get out and this and that. So finally the constable showed up, and we got him out of here. And I think within the next day they was here. They had knocked down the porch, knocked down the little garage. He had to put up private property, no trespassing sign, and that didn't do him any good. So we sold the house on an owner finance deal, and lady wanted it as is. She had real big plans for fixing this house up. Within maybe a week or so of her buying it, they burnt it up.
The guy that stayed at the property, he would ride by and vandalize the property.
It could get real ugly. That's why I wish we could put some cameras here. I mean, and just, man, I don't even want to say it, but if I was to catch these guys here, what I would do to them.
And I guess he got to a point where he says, if he can't have it, nobody can.
Man, boy, this frustrates me though, because you're supposed to always be protected at all times. And if it would have been my era, my boo-boo, I would have easily accepted it. But they didn't understand, she canceled my insurance, didn't even know the difference between owner finance and sold. So now I'm pretty much she's gonna deed me back the property. It's a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So I don't have to file foreclosure, just deed it back to me where it's all back mine. She lose her $10,000. I still got 20,000 in it. Now I got to deal with this headache. She didn't want to cancel the insurance.
She get fired.
No, because she didn't know.
Right.
She didn't know. I had a person who was somewhat new there in the office. Her name's Charlene. She automatically canceled the insurance on the property, and from that point, honest mistake. She felt like, hey, nobody instructed her the difference between selling a house cash where we don't have anything to do with it. Of course, then we get the insurance off of there because there's no use in having an insurance bill when you don't own the property no longer. So I mean, how can I fire her?
Right.
When it's really more Alejandra's fault than Charlene.
Right.
James should have had told the people to get insurance and made sure that the day that they brought that down payment in, they should have had insurance. Alejandra, on the other hand, should have informed Charlene, hey, he's owner financing this house, don't cancel the insurance yet. Because that was never my system ever. That Alejandra implemented this system as soon as it was in a sole folder, cancel the insurance.
And I feel that James, he was the one that was supposed to talk to these clients about the terms, about making their insurance payments and all of that.
This house here, when we got it at the auction, this was one of James' properties. So how it works is whoever buys it, that's who generally is over that property. That's how they get their commission off each property. They buy it and they're over it. So James was responsible for this property. He was responsible for buying, he was responsible for the eviction, and he's responsible for selling it.
When going back to all this, I mean, Michael just looked at me.
They never even ran that system by me. So I would have made sure they understood it. No, sold is not necessarily sold until it's sold.
Yeah.
There's a difference between cash sold, bank financing sold, and owner financing sold. I still have, when I'm owner financing, I still got to protect myself.
Right.
All my owner finance properties, I make the people pay it up for a year, but even still, I try and keep my own insurance on it to cover me.
Right.
That's the reason why I feel like Alejandra's to play a hand in this as the same, but I hold James at more fault than Alejandra. Technically, I'm the lender on the property, so I still have an equitable stake in the property, so I have to protect my equitable stake in the property. So I still keep insurance on it, regardless if I own or finance it or not. Yeah, we gotta get ready to go over here and knock down that burnt up house. That guy, one of them guys that I bought, properties I bought, he burnt it up. So we about to go over here and knock this thing down, and so I can just go ahead and get ready to try and sell the lot. Luckily the lot is valuable and I can get my money back. As I, stated, I can get most of my money back. If not, I can even probably make a profit with this property, but it's just one of these things. We got to go ahead and knock it down and get this thing bulldozed over, and then I can go ahead and start marking the lot. It's over an acre of land, so I think it's going to be a pretty good situation even after the fact.
My name is Garland Campbell, basically part of the demo crew. Our job is to take down, destroy, and take out anything we need to, remove trees, lawn, landscape, irrigation, things of that nature. Basically, this house, every now and then you run across properties where people just don't know how to let go. The property was obviously bought by Mr. Phillips, the Phillips management. At that time, you had some unruly tenants that did not want to let go of the property. Working on site, they tried to destroy it, threw numerous amount of trash, right, as you can see. It's like endless. And then the last part they decided to do was just burn the house up. Just burn the house up. And here we are here to clean it up.
Man, this stuff, man, this got me pissed off, man. I'm really upset that I'm dealing with this. Then you had a person back out the house, so then this is my problem. You know, so I'm gonna end up knocking this damn house down. Well, it ain't even a house, it's a piece of knocking it down and clearing the lot out, getting it excavated and reselling it and trying to make a profit on this thing. But it's just one of these things when it didn't have to be this. You know, it's not my fault, you know, that these type of things can happen. You gotta be ready to deal with them. But it's just, I'm really pissed off right now because, you know, I'm up here early in the morning knocking down the burned house that I didn't have nothing to do with. And I didn't cause it, the guy burnt it down. And he the one, you know what I'm saying, he should have his out here knocking the house down. James should have his out here knocking his house down. Or Charlene or Alejandro should be out here. But no, I'm out here. Who? Mike is out here because Mike got to deal with it. I was in Vegas when the damn house burned. And then now I'm out here dealing with this bull. Yeah, just leaving that house over here, we knocked down, feeling a little bit better about it, starting to shape up, getting that, you know, getting most of that debris knocked down, and, you know, I think I feel a lot better once I got my money back in my bank account, and, but, you know, we can get past this and go and take that money and buy something else and move to another property, but, yeah, I'm just a little upset about everything, and, but, you know, things happen in life, and that's part you gotta be willing to take the good with the bad, and that's just what it is. We'll have that lot on the market in the next week or so, and hopefully by the end of the month and a half, I'll have my money plus some profit back in my bank, and this will be all behind me. I ended up selling this property as a vacant lot for 60 grand. It's over an acre of land. So I still came out pretty good. You know, after I had to, you know, clean up all the fire damage and clean up, knock the house down before the lot would be marketable. But I did end up selling it for 60, had 30, paid 30 for it, probably put another 10 into the demolition of cleaning it up. So I still was able to walk away with about a $20,000 profit. You know, but it could have been a lot worse. If this wasn't an acre of land, if it was just an average lot and they knocked that house down, then I would have just lost. You know, I would have had maybe a $5,000 lot from a $30,000 investment. As we flip this hood, there's always things that's going on, and I just want to make everyone aware that, you know, always get insurance on your property. You know, I can't express that enough. Any investment properties you own, get insurance. And I know a lot of times you think you're paying for it for no reason, but in the end of the day, that insurance will pay off one day, and it'll be well worth all the other years that you didn't have it. If I would have had the insurance on it, they would have just wrote me a check for 100 grand, and I would have been completely out of it. So to me, James, Charlene, Alejandro matched me out of $40,000.